Well, obviously, I've got no inside information about what's going on in Manchester, but I strongly suspect this is another staged incident to create sympathy for the Jewish community. CST is Community Security Trust. It's a private security organization which is, I'm not even sure if it's really legal. It's a kind of private security group for Jews. Obviously, the Jews like to suggest that they're a targeted minority and that they're anti-Semitism and so on, and therefore, for that reason, they feel justified in having their own private, well-financed security group, which will help them. This is notwithstanding the fact that it's actually the job of the police. If you look at this picture, the policeman's got his arm on this Jew's arm, and obviously, in order to get to ramp up the sympathy, it's on was it Yom Kippur or something like that. If you look at these people, I mean, really, they look special needs, don't they? I mean, they don't. I mean, it's extraordinary how often they do this exact thing. They create some sort of terrorism, or they create something that can be described as terrorism using either a patsy or a crisis actor, or somebody mentally ill. And this will be used now. Keir Starmer is going to host a Cobra committee, which is CC. It's a 33 Freemason. I mean, I'd be incredibly surprised if this was a bog standard, it feels to me almost certainly that this is just a standard fake event. I mean, when I say a fake event, I mean, I don't know. Was somebody killed? Possibly. It's hard to say. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the timing of this, especially since Israel is now being accused accurately of committing genocide, trying to expel the local inhabitants of Palestine, including Gaza, so that they can take it over. They've got Tony Blair involved, a man with a notorious track record. Tony Blair is very, very unpopular. I mean, he was voted in several times, but it just goes to show how bad the voting system is. Most people look back on the Blair years and realise that we were heading in the wrong direction, and the wrong direction continued with Starmer and Sunak, and now, with Johnson and Sunak and Blair and all these, and Starmer and so on. I don't think we can vote our way out of this. I've seen the public in action. They don't. I remember years ago when I was in Guatemala, a bit of name dropping, and I met a guy English guy who was travelling, and he had a laser pointer, and the local dogs in Guatemala were completely freaked out by this, so they were getting the dogs to chase the laser point. It was so funny to watch it. A bit unfair on the dogs. Not all dogs react like that, but this particular dog was just going bananas, trying to catch the laser point. Of course, it never could. But how would the dog know it wasn't some sort of insect? I don't know. And this is what happens. They distract us with this. I mean, I'd like you to make some comments, please, because I've discovered that my channel doesn't get any hits. In the last 2 weeks, I've had like 2 comments. A couple of people joined my channel, and they seem to be genuine, but no comments from them either. What do you think? Do you think this is Do you think this is a real event? Of course, the guy has been killed. The force confirmed a bomb disposal unit after footage shared appeared to show shouting to firearms officers that the suspect had a bomb strap. How would they know it's a bomb strapped to him? I could strap some cardboard boxes to my stomach. It doesn't mean I've got a bomb, does it? The man was shot dead at 9:38. 9:38. I wonder if there's any symbolism in that number. The fact that this has taken place on Yom Kippur makes it all the more horrific. Does it? Does it make it a bit like 9/11? 9/11, incidentally, that's not the number in Saudi Arabia they call. I think it's 112. 9/11. How convenient that they chose that date. In America, they use the month first, September the 11th, 9/11, which is the number for the police, of course. Plato, the code word used by police. Marauding terror attack. Declared Plato. Declared Plato. What we know so far, by the way, this guy Andy Wells, he often writes government propaganda. I've seen this guy, I've followed this guy, not followed him exactly, but I've seen this guy parroting official versions of events for years and years. The establishment have lots of these people in positions to write shit, and he's one of them, Andy Wells. There are many others. Not picking on you in particular, Andy, but you are a yellow journalist. I mean, you are. You lie in order to make money, don't you, Andy? Yeah. Not just you, but most of your colleagues. You should see the Udo Elfgott died, and before he died, he admitted that everything he did was a lie. It was nice of him to do that. I mean, he hadn't got any kids or anything, so he decided to come clean, and he did the right thing, but unfortunately the public were not ready to listen. They will not listen. They probably said he was like on the Russia's payroll or something. Oh God. It's a man who is going to be dead soon, and that's the sort of thing they'd claim, honestly. The suspect is now dead. Yes, how convenient. Yeah, witnesses said. One man stabbed, attempting to detonate a bomb. Appears to show. Not very successful bomb, was it? Yom Kippur. And you see, the problem is nobody is allowed to question this. I mean, I can question it to an audience of one, but no politician would dare. Is George Galloway going to question this? Is Nigel Farage going to question this? I mean, perhaps Candace Owens would question it. You won't find Tommy Robinson questioning it, that's for sure. Because it fits into the narrative. Look at him. Cobra meeting. So allegedly, because one lunatic decides to do something, they need a terror meeting? Chair, look at him. I mean, do you trust this stupid fucking idiot? He's a fucking arsehole. 2:30. Yes. He'd be attending a European summit in Denmark. Well, can't you carry on? Do you always cancel a summit when you see, now he's going to he's cancelled his summit, he's come back to the UK. Yeah, if you're English, you think he would do that? Oh no, but for a Jew, he'd come back. And of course, Shabana Mahmood, the righteous Goy, the righteous Muslim, will join the meeting. Cobra. High-level coordination. Additional resources to areas with synagogues. You see how the Jews get preferential treatment? They get preferential treatment. They are overrepresented in positions of influence. They're overprotected compared to other members of the public. If you try to contact the police, you'll find that they often won't help or don't appear, or maybe won't even investigate. I mean, obviously, everybody's situation will be different. You might get lucky and get a good copper. There are some around. It's a difficult job, to be fair. It's a very, very difficult job. But unfortunately, I don't know, died after being shot by it. Yes, and they see, then the Reverend Dr. Walker, not to allow our rhetoric get ahead of our humanity. Yes. I think it's been happening. I think it's across the world. Careful stock of who we are and what we are. Blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah. 2 men in handcuffs led away by police. A man who lives in White House Avenue, convenient, who did not want to be identified. What do you mean he didn't want to be identified? Are they going to publish his name and address? He said he'd been at work when his wife called and said, come home. What do you mean? Why would you ask him to come home? Surely it'd be better for him not to come home. British Muslim Network. You see, the British Muslim Network are going to endorse the narrative. They're not going to say, well, we need to investigate what's going on here because, this is propaganda for Israel, isn't it? I was on my way to the synagogue. Yes. Rafi Bloom, Northwest Friends of Israel. Yeah. I was on my way there. Tsunami of Jew hatred. 7th of October, God. You know what? I despair. This looks to me as a bog standard, routine, false flag event. And these goons here, this guy appears to be smiling, I would say. This is a very likely a loud explosion after a bomb disposal robot, which it wasn't the bomb. Children are led away. Why do they need to wear those? Look, they're led away. Led away. Unbelievable how our entire government, the police and the media, automatically side with Zionists on every occasion. Automatically side with them. Automatically side with them and always assume that what they're being told is correct. No one is going to question. This looks very, very much like another false flagged event. Yeah, I thought it might be a firework. Yes, that's what they always say. I thought it might be a movie. I wonder if she's going to say that as well. Everyone's in utter shock. The Queen and King and Queen was here. Come on, how many other people are going to... Yeah, I suppose Katie Price is going to issue a statement too. Look at that man. Look at him. Look at that one there. Look at these people. Every Jewish person's worst nightmare. I'll tell you something, what's a worst nightmare is to be a child living in Gaza when 2 million properties have been destroyed. Right? That's a worst nightmare, but you're not going to get Andy Wells to do a story on it, are you? Rabbi Jonathan Romaine, Maidenhead Synagogue, appalled by what happened. Every rabbi, Jews, a sacred day. Of course, it's a sacred day. Yes. Members of the army. The army have shown up in double quick time. Bomb disposal robot. One new update. Former counter, not surprised. Yeah, holy days. I'd forgotten. Well, what do you mean I'd forgotten? I didn't know. I'm partly Jewish myself. I didn't even know it was Yom Kippur. I don't care because I don't follow religion. High holy, an additional element of concern. Yeah, and those of us who've been tasked with protecting. Hey, Mr. Allworth, Mr. Terrorism Policeman Expert. How about giving a shit about the rest of us? Oh God, oh God, oh God. They always get away with it. Always get away with it. It's impossible to reach out to people. People won't even consider what I say could be true. I mean, at the very least, people have to be able to consider alternative explanations as to what's going on. Isn't this useful? I mean, regardless of whether this event took place, isn't it useful propaganda for the Jews? Doesn't it make them see like an under siege community, innocently going about their business, going to a high holy day and being in some Muslim... And we're going to find out more. The story's going to run. We're going to find out in the days, in the hours and the days ahead, that this guy was such and such, he was blah blah blah, he was radicalized, and the people are going to fall for it. And people like me, and hopefully people like you, who can see through this, who can see what this is all about, the truth, will be marginalized, will be ridiculed, will be, and who knows what else. Thank you for your time.